Welcome to another teacher talk session tonight. Tonight we are going to have our 90th session. Yes, and tonight we are going to have a very important educator from different part of the world again, just like previous sessions. So tonight our guest is from England, and she is Blerta Zhara. She is the academic coordinator at Owlypia and Perceptum Education. I'm going to invite her to start live sessions. When she comes, we are going to start it. Let me invite her and then we can start. I'm sure that it's going to be a very fruitful session tonight with her. I'm waiting for her. Still waiting. Yes, there she is. Let me invite her. Yes, I have invited. When she comes, we are going to start. There she is.
Hello.
Hello, Blerta.
I was a bit late, was I?
No, it's okay. You're on time. It's not
Okay,
a
that's
problem. It's
it.
great.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you, Blerta. It's nice to see you. It's great to see
Nice
you.
to see you.
And before starting our last sessions, I would like to say thank you very much to accept my invitation to Teacher Talks and to become my guest for 90th session. It's
Thank you
really
very much
important.
for inviting me. It's an honor to be here. Thank you very
It's
much.
wonderful. And I know that we are all busy, and probably you are also very busy. And if you are ready, we can start.
Sure, we can start. I want to say
Okay.
everybody who has joined and the ones who are joining now. So my name is Blerta Zhara. I'm 25 years old. I'm currently working at Owlypia competition. Our Owlypias might be joining. I joined from Owlypia's account tonight. As an academic coordinator, I joined almost 2 years ago. In June, it will be 2 years. I got my master's degree 2 years ago, I believe, yes, during the pandemic times for English language and literature. It was always my passion studying the English language, and got my master's as well. I worked as a teacher for 3 years, English teacher in a private school. So right after I got my bachelor's, actually, maybe a month after, I got my job as a teacher. It was very difficult in the beginning, but it was super fun, and I'm looking forward to getting back at it.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for this information about you. And let's move to my next question.
Sure.
What was your or were your turning point or points in your own education?
I pretty much knew that I was going to study English language since maybe I was 10 or 11, around 7th grade. In 6th grade, I wasn't that good in English, but in 7th grade, I believe something changed in me, and I was always attending to other students, always helping them with their homework, and the teacher saw that. My teacher, my English teacher, who's called Emina, she was there. Actually, she was the first person to tell me that I believe you will become an English teacher, because I see you, how well you are with the language, how well you are with your friends, always helping them. And then I decided to become a teacher. In high school, almost all of the professors used to ask us, what are you going to study in college? Most of the students never knew the answer, but I was always the one who said, I'm going to study English language. And that's what I did. I joined bachelor's for 2 years, and then master's for 3 years, actually, bachelor's, and then master's for 2. And yeah, here I am. This is
Wow.
my 5th year, actually. So I started working since I was 20.
Wow, it's great. Thank you, Blerta,
Thank you.
for giving this, how can I say, personal information and
Yes.
sharing with us. Okay, so when you think about all your experiences, probably you have a kind of teaching philosophy, I'm sure that. So what is your philosophy of teaching?
I still consider myself to be in like very early stages of my profession as a teacher. I've been doing this for 5 years, been involved in education, but I have a lot to learn. I relate. I'm going to say that I relate to the students so much. I believe for most of my students, they consider me as I'm closer to them in age, and they open
Mm-hmm.
up to me more than other teachers as well, because English language allows you also to open more with students, to have these conversations that maybe other teachers that teach other subjects they can't. I want students to feel comfortable in the classroom. I want them to speak up, make mistakes. The first thing I tell my students, especially if it's a new class, I always tell them,
Uh-huh.
I make mistakes. I'm a teacher and I make mistakes. I might make a grammatical mistake. I might pronounce something incorrectly. So you're students, you are going to make mistakes as well. So don't be afraid of that. So learn from your mistakes. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
make mistakes together, but also learn together. So that's why my students, I believe, they always get the courage to speak up. And even if they're wrong, they really much don't care. They just want to speak up, see if they're correct or not. So I believe I have achieved that. But of course, I have a lot to work on as well.
I see. I see. Thank you very much. It's really, the whoever joined here, this I always direct these questions, and there are also different philosophies of the guests are
Yeah,
mentioned here. But
definitely.
this is wonderful. Thank you very much for your philosophy here.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so again, it's related with your educational side. So when you think about it, what aspects of your teaching have changed by gaining experience in teaching?
Hmm. I believe a lot aspects have changed. Each year is different. Each year, actually, I had different age groups, different classrooms. I also changed some of the schools within the year.
Hmm.
So there's always something new to learn. But one thing that I have, and I keep learning about it, but it's patience, actually. I have learned a lot how to be patient with students, especially the young ones. For 2 years, I worked with students who were 15, 16. In my last year, I worked with students who were 10 and 11, and that was really challenging for me because students who are 15, 16, they understand things differently. I don't have to tell them, open your book or where's your pen, but it's different with students who are 10 and 11. There's
I
things
see.
that other things you need to be careful with, and they're very more sensitive, much more sensitive than the older kids. So yeah, being patient, I have learned that as a teacher.
Yeah, you are totally, I agree with you, Blerta, because if you're a teacher, you should be really patient.
Yes.
Not only the student, not only about the students, probably most of the
Yeah,
things around of us, we should
definitely,
be patient about it. And
definitely.
by the way, tonight is a very special day, and I forgot to say about it. And to everybody who watches us now or maybe later, happy Valentine's Day. Today is a Valentine, very special
Happy
day. And
Valentine's
yeah,
to everyone who celebrates it.
yeah, all right. Thank you very much. Okay. So now we are, especially we passed, I mean, the 2021, and now we
Yes,
are in 2022, and especially with the second month of 2022,
yes.
probably you have some expectations about it. So what are your expectations from
Eh,
2022?
well, I don't allow myself, especially this year, to expect too much. For 2 years, we have made plans. They have been canceled because of COVID. But professionally, in Olympia, I really hope that we continue to spread the word about Olympia, include as many students, teachers, supervisors, schools all over the world, spread the world. And I hope many students join us this year. That's what I'm hoping professionally this year gives us. I really hope it becomes true. And meeting the students in Cambridge as well, because for 2 years, students have been asking us, when are we meeting in Cambridge? When are the globals back? But this year,
Uh-huh.
that the situation with pandemic is getting better, I'm looking forward to meeting all Olympians in Cambridge in June.
Well, I hope so. I hope you will do that. All right.
I hope.
Thank you very much about it. And as far as I know, you are working as a coordinator academic coordinator in Owlypia. So Owlypia is a very interesting and very fantastic kind of intellectual challenge. So
Correct.
what is my question? My next question is going to be about this. What is Owlypia and what is the aim of it?
Sure. As I said, this is my second year working as an academic coordinator in Owlypia competition. I'm really lucky I found it. Owlypia is an international competition for students aged 9 to 18. Owlypia aims to inspire intellectual curiosity in young minds and has a central theme each year. This year's theme is innovation, what's next? So all the resources that students study from are centered around this theme. For example, students choose art and design. They're going to learn more about arts, innovation in arts. Owlypia believes that young minds should have the opportunity to expand their knowledge and share their ideas in a stimulating environment. Students can join 3 different rounds in Owlypia competition. We have Owlypia online rounds, Owlypia local rounds, and Owlypia global rounds, as I mentioned earlier, that are going to be held in Cambridge. Owlypia online, I'm going to speak shortly for each of the rounds. Owlypia online, it's an online competition for students aged 9 to 18 again. It's an exam that students take on a certain date. For example, students choose a subject and then they have to answer 90 questions in 90 minutes. They get certificates, they get a report card. And then we have Owlypia locals, who are 2-day exciting events. These are held either virtually or on site. So either in schools, again, after 2 years, we have organized it in different schools. We started in November in Bosnia, and then we moved in Uganda, in Azerbaijan.
Great.
So we're looking forward to the other countries who are going to organize.
Wow.
Students form a team of 3, and then they take 4 challenges. And then we have our spectacular global rounds that this year are going to be held in Cambridge on 20 and 23rd of June. Students need to qualify in order to go to globals. They can get a medal either from online round or local rounds.
Wow, wonderful. It's a really great competition, I think.
It is.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Blerta. So what are my next question again is related with Owlypia.
Sure.
So what are the benefits of Owlypia for students and for teachers?
In Owlypia competition, students can join in 5 different subjects. These subjects are art and design, literature and culture, economics and business, science and technology, and social sciences. By joining each of the 5 subjects, students share their creative ideas, they develop their academic skills, they unlock their true potential, they make new friends, they learn about new cultures. They're going to learn a lot of new words, especially related to the theme of the year. They will improve their team building skills as well. So there's a lot of benefits for students if they join Owlypia competition, but for teachers as well. Teachers can join as supervisors, or they can join as ambassadors as well. This year, we have implemented ambassadors in our system as well. They're usually educators or teachers who help spread the word about Owlypia. They help their students as well join Owlypia competition. So I advise all the teachers who are interested to introduce an international competition to their students, join as an ambassadors, and welcome yourself to Owlypia family.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Blerta.
Thank you for your questions.
And actually, you just mentioned the answer of the questions, but I will divert it. Maybe you would like to add more things.
Sure.
Who can apply for Owlypia, and what's the procedure? And this is important. Do the participants have to pay too much for joining Owlypia?
Okay, yeah. Students aged 9 to 18 can join. We have 3 different age categories. Our youngest are All-ins. They are aged 9 to 11. Then we have our All-lits, who are aged 12 to 14. And then we have our oldest, who are Ollies, aged 15 to 18. What would be the procedure? The first step for students to take is register through Owlypia website. We consider our website the most important source. Students can find all the necessary information in our website, also the registration form. Once they click our website, they will see a button which says register. They click on it and they will fill out the registration form. Once they do that, they can start studying and preparing, either individually if they're joining the online rounds, or if they're joining the locals, they can start preparing as a team of 3. They prepare from the resources in our website. So in our website, the resources are accessible even now, even before they register. They can check what they're going to study from. So these are the steps. First, register from the website, then prepare, study with your friends, and then you take the challenges or you take the exam. And there are some fees, different fees for each of the rounds. I said we have 3 different rounds. I'm going to share the online round fee, which is £10. It's very reasonable for students to join an international competition, and especially because they will get international medals and certificates sent to their email.
I see. Wonderful. Really. Thank you very much. And let me actually, again, you mentioned while we were talking, you mentioned the answer of the next question, but maybe you would like to add anything.
Sure.
Students, I know that students love joining Owlypia.
Yes.
So what is the reason? Why do they love it?
I'm going to start first with our resources. I personally, because I am an academic coordinator and I was responsible for the team who found the resources, our academic team, which did a wonderful job finding the best resources for students. Also, the teachers can approve this because the teachers also check the resources. The resources are fun, but also they're different from what the students are used to working with in their schools. For example, they include books, films, articles, research people. So they're not just going to read. They will watch videos as well. It will be visual more. The videos are innovative people, successful people who share their road to success, their path to success. They give tips to students. We include also a lot of TED Talks. So these are all very informative. Students learn a lot about their favorite subject, but also they have a lot of fun while studying from the resources. This is one of the reasons why they love it. The second reason, I would say, also one of the biggest reasons, is because they get to go to Cambridge. If they qualify, they go to Cambridge to have the globals. The globals in Cambridge, it's a 4 or 5 day event. So they spend 5 days there. They take the challenges and then they go to seminars, city and boat tours, a lot of fun activities which students love to do. I believe these are just 2 reasons, but there's many more that why students love Owlypia.
Wonderful. Well, I'm sure that there are more reasons, but these are the most important reasons, I think. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Blerta. So I know that there's a process to join Owlypia. Is it easy to get prepared for Owlypia challenge? How long does it take to get ready for the student side?
First of all, it depends if students are working with teachers or if they are working on their own. But both ways, it's not difficult. It's not difficult because I said resources are accessible in our website. They can access them at all times. They can just click on it and the resource will open. For the research person, for example, they need to research a bit on internet, find information, but it doesn't take long. It depends on the student. I believe about maybe a month of preparation, it's enough for students. Some students prepare for a week, some prepare for 2 weeks. So it all depends on the students. But also I wanted to mention here our school clubs, because we have formed Owlypia clubs. We have actually given the idea to schools, and a lot of schools have adapted this into their schools. So teachers and supervisors form Owlypia clubs in their school. This way, they help students prepare for the competition. So they get our resources. They have this course once or twice a week. Students decide if they're going to watch the film or the videos, what they're going to discuss about. They get to send questions to us or to their teachers. So this entire process is really helpful, and students get to learn from one another. So this is also one option for all the schools or teachers who want to help their students prepare for Owlypia. You can form Owlypia clubs in your schools.
I see. By the way, Do they have to pay anything for the resources, or are they free of charge?
No, they're free. They're
Oh,
free.
they are
They're
free.
available in our website. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful, great. And this is a very critical question about the Olympia.
Yes.
And how is Olympia different from other competitions? And what makes Olympia more, how can I say, different than the other
Other
competitions, let's say?
without wanting to mention other competitions, uh, first thing I want to mention is that the Olympia competition was the only competition which kept going during the pandemic, and we organized the entire competition virtually, and we actually did it in a very successful way. For 2 years, students have joined our competition virtually from the safety of their home. So in a very short period of time, we were able to create everything from on-site, take it virtually, and students were very satisfied. Students from 136 countries from all over the world joined our
Wow.
virtual competitions, and also schools organized locals virtual. I have not seen any other competition do this. So Olympia was very prepared, but very innovative as well. We didn't want to close the competition for students. We were there for them when they couldn't attend any activities outside their house. Basically, they couldn't leave the house
Yes.
because of the pandemic. So it was a
Mm-hmm.
great opportunity for them to study from their home, from the safety of their home, join the competition, and then win and get the medals, get the certificates. That's all I'm going to
Wonderful.
say why Olympia is better than all
I
the
see.
competitions.
I understand, Blerta. Thank you very much. It's really fantastic.
You're very
Thank you. And now my next question is something really, really about, and I really love the idea of what Owlypia makes about the social responsibility projects. So, can you tell us about Owlypia's social responsibility project for Afghan girls? I heard about it and I really love it. So, can you just make it clear what is your aim about it?
Sure. I'll start from the very beginning how this idea came to our minds, because we work with a lot of schools in Afghanistan, just like all other countries. And Afghan students really love the competition. They joined every round, every year. They even came to Cambridge. All of them almost registered for Olympia global round in Cambridge as well. So they are very excited to join competitions, but especially Olympia competitions. But you know, and everybody knows that the situation there changed, and uh, when we were discussing with teachers, supervisors, ambassadors, we always heard that the situation is not very well, especially for the girls. And after researching, we found out that the girls couldn't actually attend their school because of the new restrictions from the new government in their country. And we really felt bad about this. And especially maybe they couldn't afford the competition as well. So we wanted to help the girls in a way join a competition from the safety of their home. Most of them do not attend schools because they're not allowed to go to schools where are their boys as well. So we formed this social responsibility project for Afghan girls, where we give them the opportunity to join our local rounds for free, so free of charge.
Wow.
All of them can join, or they can join through their ambassadors, supervisors, schools as well. We have also included in this project some of Olympians, or of Afghan Olympians. We have had meetings with them. We will also have other meetings with them. We want to hear it from the girls themselves. We want to hear about the situation. How can we improve the situation there? And this is what the girls have told us. They have thanked us as well for what we're trying to do. We have still some things upcoming for this project, but for everybody who wants to keep updated, make sure you follow us on our social media, and you'll read more about it.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And I really congratulate you about this social responsibility
Thank you.
project. Well done, really. It's really fantastic. And I hope that the most of like Olympia, the competitions or like Olympia, the others also can make like this social
Sure,
responsibility
sure.
projects.
That's what we're
Wonderful,
trying to
wonderful.
do as well, raise awareness about it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, Blerta. All right. So let's move to another. By the way, I just want to mention,
Mhm.
if you have any questions to Blerta, please write it into the question part so we
Sure.
can see and we can divert easily to Blerta your questions. Otherwise, if you write any comment or questions into comment part, so maybe we can miss it while we are talking or while Blerta is talking. We have a chance to miss it. So just write it into the question part and we can easily divert your questions to Blerta. Thank you. All right, so let's move to another question. I know that the Owlypia has a really great effect on students. So how does Owlypia help with high school and university applications? Does it have any effect?
Mhm. It definitely does, because Olympia is an international competition and students get certificates, international certificates, medals as well, but also report cards if they join Olympia competition and Olympia online rounds. And it's very well specified in each of the certificate, the achievement of the student,
Mm-hmm.
all their information, the year that they join. So it's a credible document that students can attach to their university when they apply for universities or other colleges. A lot of students, it happens that they lose their certificate. So in the meantime, they email us when the time is to apply for universities and ask us to send them, because they always say it's helpful for us. And the universities do
Wonderful.
take our documents into account, definitely.
Great. Thank you very much. So it's a great chance for them to
It is.
join the Olympia.
It is.
Wonderful. Okay. So next question is related to, again, teachers. Why would you recommend teachers to involve themselves, but also their students in Olympia competitions?
Okay, so I'll speak from my personal experience, because when I was in my third year of teaching, I learned about Olympia competition from another colleague of mine. I had never heard about Olympia before, and we had never joined as a school in such a competition. Our students were very excited about it, actually, and I know that most of them that year joined, but that year I also left and joined Olympia myself as an academic coordinator. But it's also a great opportunity for teachers as well to involve themselves in a competition, but also they can involve not just as supervisors, but ambassadors as well. When they register as ambassadors, they get certificate of recognition that they are official Olympia ambassador. They can
Mm-hmm.
represent us in their country. They can work with other schools, involve other teachers, colleagues, and students as well. But also they can introduce it to the parents as well, because parents are very important to Olympia as well. We are
I see.
communicating with the parents almost all of the time. Uh, that's for the teachers. I believe it's a great opportunity to join a competition which is very friendly. They can communicate with us at all times, either through WhatsApp, through email, so we make it easier for them. And then for students, I mentioned it earlier that there's a lot of
Yes.
benefits that students get. They will work as a team. Most of the students think that they're great working as teams, but when it actually comes to it, they find out that they have a lot to learn. And they learn a lot about the English language as well, because English is the main language of communication. But it's a
Exactly.
chance for teachers to improve their English language, but students as well. So there's
I
many
see.
benefits for both teachers and students. I would highly recommend all of you to join.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for nice suggestions, Blerta. Okay, that's all my questions about Olympia. So
Okay,
let's move different questions. Okay,
sure.
which is related with the teaching and your personal stuff. Okay, so can you tell us 5 adjectives that describe an effective language teachers?
Okay, five. It's not a large number. I would mention a few. I'm going to say five only, but there are plenty of characteristics that a teacher must have in order to be a good language teacher, especially a language teacher. Besides the professional ones, of course, personally believe patience. It's the first one. They
Patient,
should be patient, very patient, encouraging,
encouraging. Nine,
passionate,
two,
hardworking, and
three,
committed. I
and
believe
five.
all of these are connected to one another. The teacher must be committed if they want the students to be committed as well, and also passionate about the language to show it to students what the
Uh-huh.
language is, not only English, but the subject or the language that they're teaching as well. Show it to students how to love it, actually. I
I
believe
see.
every student, yeah, must love it. And then patient, I mentioned earlier, you have to be very patient, especially with the language, and then encourage students to learn the language. Even if they make plenty of mistakes, that's totally fine. Everybody makes mistakes. So encouraging
I see.
students to keep trying, keep learning.
Yes, five. We
Thank you.
made it. Thank you. All right. This is very interesting question. I'm actually next question.
Okay.
So I really wonder what are you going to say about it? If you could have a one superpower to use in the classroom, or maybe you can think about to use it in Olympia competitions,
Yeah.
what would it be and how would it help?
For teaching and for Owlypia, it would be different. For
All
Owlypia,
right.
I would inspire students to love Owlypia, to show them to see Owlypia in the eyes that I see it. That is a great competition for students. But as a teacher, I would inspire them to love the language. They will benefit a lot from the English language. English is, as we know, spoken worldwide. They have more job opportunities.
Uh-huh.
Why not study the language, love the culture as well, because the language comes with the culture as well. I think this is what I try to transmit in my classrooms, but it's not easy, of course. Some students are not interested. Some think they're not good in languages, but I want to show them that they can, if they work hard, they can do it. Why not? But I would definitely use this as my superpower. Just encourage everybody, inspire everyone to love the language.
To love the language. All right. Thank you, Blerta. Okay. So if you had a chance actually to change one thing from ELT world, what would you change and why?
I believe to answer correctly this question, I would need a few years, actually, a few years to practice my teaching. For now, I don't think I would make any changes. I am learning every day, and I believe other teachers
I see.
never stop learning, especially when it comes to teaching. But as for now, I would not make any changes.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. Okay. So next question, again, it's related with the students and the teachers. So
Yes.
I believe that having a good report is really important with the students. So for you, what is the importance of report, and can every teacher achieve it easily in the classroom?
I believe it's very, very important. But I don't think every teacher can achieve it. At least not as easier as language teachers can. I believe as a language teacher, you have these conversations, and the way you teach the language is different. For example, than math. Math is very strict. The classroom has to be quiet. They need to write, take notes, practice everything. But in English, it's different. I ask them sometimes, even in books, they have personal questions. And I also allow students sometimes to ask me personal questions, so we can create this bond that they can express themselves. When I do that, they feel like they can as well. And I believe I have achieved this pretty well with my students. They always tell me that they are very free with me. They can talk about anything. But I believe it's not only me as a person, it's also me being a teacher of English language. Just the language allows you to connect with the students in a way that maybe other subjects find it difficult. But for me, it's very, very important.
I understand. All right. Thank you, Lerta. Thank you. Okay. So actually, I mean, probably you have lots of, the good teaching experiences in your career, and probably they ask you sometimes, and maybe you explain or you give some examples from your teaching experiences, but only maybe the good ones, not the bad ones. But this time, I'm gonna ask you the vice versa. Can you tell us one of your bad, or let's say challenging teaching experiences in your career?
I was going to say that. I wouldn't call them, but I would call it difficult or challenging. I faced many, because being a 20-year-old teacher in my beginnings, it was very difficult. It's difficult for students to take you seriously, parents to take you seriously, and especially for me, because I found myself in that environment, basically with some trainings, but I had never done any practice as a teacher. So as I said earlier, I got my bachelor's degree, and then after a month I was in the classroom teaching. So I faced many difficulties in the beginning, but I feel something that it's always going to be there for me, especially with the new classrooms, is reading the classroom, their behavior, finding out what they like, how they act, finding out their wishes, their needs. The beginning for me was difficult. So I needed months to get to know the students, what they wanted, and also the transition from the old teacher to a new English teacher was difficult for them. That was difficult for me as well. So I believe this is going to be something that teachers always difficulty that they deal with. So finding out who's in front of you, what are their needs, how to attend to them. So these are the issues I faced in the beginning, but they have taught me so much. So I wouldn't trade them
I
for
understand. I understand. Thank you very much for sharing the moments with us. Thank you, Blerta. All right. This question, maybe you can think about it the different part as a teacher side or as an academic coordinator side. You can think about it for the next question. What kind of people would you like to work with? Do you think characteristics of colleagues affect the working environment, and what suggestions can you give about it?
The colleagues definitely affect the working environment. They affect your work as well, especially in education. You have to be connected to the teachers you're working with. You need their help. They will need your help at some point as well. So I believe having good communication and positive energy, being there to help your colleagues, that's really, really important. And that's what I found in Owlypia. I found amazing colleagues, not only who work for Owlypia, but also teachers that we work across the globe really make my job easier. Actually, they are really understanding. They are really interested into implementing Owlypia in their school. So I was very lucky to work with great people. So I do appreciate good colleagues, definitely.
I understand. Yeah, I agree with you. It's really affects you and affects the environment and affects your
your work.
motivation. Exactly. Okay, so let's move to another question. By the way, just a couple questions left. You know, then time flies.
Yeah, it does.
Really.
Definitely.
All right. So let's move to the next question. Think that we finish the interview and you step outside your home and find a lottery ticket, ends up with winning $10 million. What would you do? That's the everybody wants to find
Okay,
it.
let us dream for a minute or two.
Okay, you have time. You have time. Take your time and think about it.
Definitely the first thing I would do is think for my family. I would definitely help my family before doing anything for myself. I'd spend some in the first few days, but something I would do in the long term, or as a business, I would definitely involve myself in education, maybe open a private boarding school somewhere in the region, because I want to be included in education. I want to work in education for the rest of my life. So that would bring this opportunity to me. Why not? And I would be able to offer something great to students, give back to the community, but also offer a modern and a great environment for teachers as well. So that's definitely what I would do with the 10 million.
Wow, nice.
I would
Okay.
try to teacher there as well.
I see. There is a question, Blerta. Let me check for it. Okay, here is the question. Would you ask her whether English is her native language or second language?
Sure, it's my second language, actually. I've studied
Okay.
English language for 5 years. I got my master's degree in English language, but it's not my first.
I see.
Thank you
All
for the
right. That
question.
was the question. All right. And here is the last question. The
Okay.
last question of the night and the session. Ready
Yeah,
for it?
sure.
Okay. What is your motto?
I would say, I mentioned it earlier, but I would say never stop learning. Even as a teacher, definitely as a student, but even as a teacher, you always have something
Uh-huh.
to learn. Learn something about your school, about your students, read a new book, what else? Work on a new project, why not? So that's what I plan on doing for the rest of my life. Never stop learning.
Wonderful. Never stop learning. Exactly. If you stop learning, you stop teaching or whatever you do.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely,
Learning is really
definitely.
important point. Okay, Blerta. Thank you very much. That's all by my side about the
These were
questions,
all great
Blerta.
questions. I really had fun. It was
And
lovely.
so wonderful. Thank you very much. Before ending our live sessions, would you like to add anything else?
I would invite our Olympians actually to join our upcoming rounds, or if you need more information, if you're a new student, want more information about Olympia, you can email us at info@olympia.org, or you can come here in Instagram and swipe left, send us a direct message. We will be there to
Uh-huh.
reply. And I also invite all teachers to become ambassadors from Olympia website. Make sure you check our website because our most important information is there.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much,
Thank
Blerta.
you very much.
That was really fantastic, and I'm really I would like to say thank you one more time to be with us tonight and to share your ideas and
Sure.
suggestions and the advices about and give lots of information about Olpia. And also the most important thing, you spend your time with us here, the precious
Yeah.
time in Teacher Talk. That was wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you
And
for the opportunity.
yeah, Blerta Zhara. Am I pronouncing
Zhara.
correctly now?
Yes.
Zhara, sorry. Blerta Zhara was with us tonight, and that was really fruitful session we had. I'm sure that you you loved it just like me.
I did.
And for the next week, we are going to be here with the different educators. So as you know, that Teacher Talks time and the date is the same every Monday at 9 p.m. So take care of yourselves, and good evening, good morning, and good afternoon wherever you are. And until the next time, again, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, Blerta, and
Thank you.
bye everybody, and peace until the next time.
Good
Bye
luck
bye.
with your sessions. Bye bye.
Yeah, you too.